Hello and welcome into Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm your host, Mike Mercado. Thank you for making us a part of your day. A very special show today. Our guest is Sandy Pazerunas from Ups for Downs United Parent Support for Down Syndrome. They have a lot of cool stuff coming up, a lot of great information for you guys coming your way, so please stay tuned for that. If you would like to hear a past episode of Outreach Radio Chicago, like we did with Susan Braun of the V Foundation, like us on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago, or follow me on Twitter at Mercado2333. Don't forget, this is a show about the community. So please, if you are working for an organization, a foundation, a charity that needs to get its word out there, that needs its help by the community, that wants to help the community, please email the show at outreachradiochicago@gmail.com or email me personally at mmercado@newswebradio.net. Coming up next, our special guest from Ups for Downs, Sandy Pazerunas on Outreach Radio Chicago. Thank you for keeping it tuned in to Outreach Radio Chicago. And on the line, we have our very special guest today on our episode from Ups for Downs. It is Sandy Pazerunas. Sandy, welcome to Outreach Radio. How are you?
I'm great. I really appreciate this opportunity to share about Ups for Downs, United Parent Support for Down Syndrome. So thanks for inviting us on to let you know about our organization.
Oh, it is absolutely my pleasure. I actually know a family that that's part of the organization, and they have so many great things to say about you guys. And on top of it, I've actually been to one of the plays, and anything that we could do to get such a great group of people and organization out there to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you guys. Anything we can do, we are so happy to do for you guys.
Very cool. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you've actually seen one of our plays, and that our 8th performance is coming up in a couple weeks. We'll be performing Hairspray April 16th through the 19th, and we can't be more excited about it. It's our 8th season, and it's the largest production that we have put on thus far. We have 70 folks, includes our cast and staff that will be part of this production. And it's youth with Down syndrome performing alongside their theater peers. And it's, I don't know if you know about the story about Hairspray, but it's a really, powerful story about integration. And so it's going to be quite a message delivered by this unique cast.
Yeah, and I put it right here. It's always a fun and exciting time for the organization, for the family. I remember always leading up through the years, the Nolan family, a little bit of a shout out for them, always getting excited, selling tickets, how excited their sister, their daughter was for the plays, and how much just the family orientation of it, just everybody working together and just seeing all the smiles and just the lead up to it. But before we get really into Hairspray and all the great work you guys are going to do, that why don't you give the folks a little bit of information of Ups for Downs, kind of how you started and kind of the community you've built within the community itself.
Sure. Ups for Downs, United Parent Support for Down Syndrome, is a local, not-for-profit, all-volunteer organization. We don't have any paid staff. It grew, it's been together for about 30 years, and it really grew from some pioneering parents who had a vision to have their kids with Down syndrome participate in community. They believed that their children, belonged at the YMCA, belonged in their church, belonged in their local schools, and that children with Down syndrome should be given the same opportunities that our other children in our families were getting. So it's built, and it still is, a family-driven organization run by families. And as I said, again, we are a 501(c)(3) not-for-profit, but we're an all-volunteer organization. We have an office in Schaumburg, although we have programs that we put on throughout the Chicago metro area. We have families that come from, all over, from Tinley Park out to Winnetka, Chicago, I Mountain Palatine. families in Naperville, Aurora. So there's, we serve a huge metro area.
And that's the phone number is 847-895-2100. And
yes,
you guys are located at 1070 South Roselle Road, Schaumburg, Illinois, right?
Correct. So we do have some office space there, but because one of our main tenants, so we have three pillars that really define our organization, and you find them in our logo: support, information, and community. Mm-hmm. And because that is one of the, our main tenants is community. We believe individuals with with Down syndrome are valuable members of their community where they live and work and play. And so we don't really host anything in our office space because we feel that, that's what it is. It's an office space. It's not a place to serve people with Down syndrome. All of our programs that we offer happen out in the community. So like Hairspray, it's happening out at a high school in Norridge.
Okay.
If we have workshops, they're mm-hmm. held out at, at different banquet halls. If we have a teen scene, they go out to the Wolves game. They'll go bowling. They go to Laugh Out Loud. So they go to places in the community to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah, and it's very unique.
To live and learn that's it's a foundation of our values from Ups for Downs.
Well, I like that a lot. Just the idea of, you have a home base, but it's just that it's a base. Everything else, it's out in the community, and kind of sticking to that community theme. Let's go back to Hairspray. Can you give us an idea of what everybody kind of does in the production and leading up to this this fun time? I went to Greece, I believe it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and just how much work is put in, not just by the performers, but the whole family and like you said, the community. It's just great to kind of to see it all come together, right?
It is really impressive to see where we were and how far we've come from the days of even Greece. Like I said, this is our 8th season, and you're right, the Nolans have been a huge contributor to mm-hmm. Ups for Downs, and they were a big driving force in the theater program as Brittany and mm-hmm. Lindsay were supporting their sister Kelsey by coming out. So they volunteered quite a bit in the theater program.
Awesome people.
But, when we started, we literally our costumes were T-shirts, and our staging, we kind of used buckets and things like that. So it was very remedial theater. Now, we have full stage sets, probably 2 or 3 costuming. One of our actors, he's a male, and I don't know if you remember the John Travolta is, so he is playing a woman in this, and so our famous actor Garrett Anderson, mm-hmm. he has about 3 or 4 costume changes that include, full evening gown. He's wearing high heels, so we
That's
have
awesome.
grown a tremendous. To this full costuming. But you were talking about the work that goes into mm-hmm. it. So this cast started back in October, and they are rehearsing twice a week from October through April.
Wow.
These leads, they have full lines, they have dance routines. This is a really quick show number where there's a lot of singing and dancing, and it's probably the most up-tempo show that we've done to date thus far. So the hard work is next week starts Tech Week, and mm-hmm. that's every night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they'll be there from 5 to 9, and then the show opens on Thursday the 16th. Another show on Friday at 7, another show on Saturday at 6, and another show on Sunday at 2 p.m.
And to see them with the same energy, though, like every show, the energy's up after all the hard work. And what's the age group again from performers-wise? What's the age groups?
The performers are between the ages of 9 and 28.
Okay.
So it's quite a range, but there is a huge. There's something for everybody.
Right. Well,
there's definitely something for everybody.
And you can't ignore that. Besides the play, they have lives outside of that they're juggling all this and still coming to practice and rehearsal and all these tech things. And are doing a great job keeping the energy, keeping the spirit up, and kind of embodying what Ups for Downs really is, kind of like that. From what I've seen from the outside, kind of that's how I've always kind of seen it, especially seeing the smiles. It always just comes back to the smiles when it comes to you guys.
Smiles, the energy, I mean, like you said, the hard work. These actors are, they're working just as hard as any other theater company that's out there rehearsing. And I can't, I couldn't be more proud of them. I do have to give some tremendous amount of credit to our theater director, Orion Cooling, and he's part of a group called Edge Theater Group, and he has been the visionary and creative director since the inception of our program, and he has great expectations of all our actors, and he continues to raise the bar with each performance. We have seen tremendous amount of growth for many of our youth who have been performing. So somebody may have started out, I can think of an actor who very shy at Quai, not really staying with the group, not to having a full-on lead, very engaged, has completely off book, has all of his lines. Because we are it's a theater group with youth with Down syndrome. We have some additional challenges that probably most casts don't have to work with. So speech and language are commonly something that's affected through Down syndrome. It's a chromosome condition, the most commonly occurring chromosome condition. So it certainly affects the way people learn and speak and look. So there's many characteristics that happen just because of the Down syndrome. But I will tell you, the director and the expectations of our staff are as high as any other theater group, and I really have to give a tremendous amount of credit to Director Orion Cooling and his staff for their vision and their ability to elevate our community. Absolutely. Big props to those guys. That's because I like you said, I've seen it, and just to hear the growth and like you said, to keep them on their toes, to expect a lot out of them. And we're going to get into it a little bit later in the show of dialect and things like that when it comes to the community and how people perceive things, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I love hearing we're going to keep them on their toes. We're going to expect high things, good quality from them. Why not? Why shouldn't you? I think that's great. Like, that to me is a great staple of the whole thing in general. And I, and again, I think that reflects back to our values as an organization, that we believe that people with Down syndrome belong in their communities, and that really everyone benefits when all people are given the opportunity to participate and to contribute in their community. Absolutely. Then we all benefit. Another really cool part of the theater program is the theater peers who also perform alongside our youth with Down syndrome. These, theater peers come out and, so in addition to knowing their lines, they have to help support some of the blocking. They may have to support with knowing some of the extra lines. And so they are an integral part of this, of the process. But I will say, I'm pretty certain that they get equal or more out of this experience as well. They will probably be the biggest advocates and the biggest buddies to people with Down syndrome in the future, because they have spent this time really learning and understanding that people with Down syndrome are not all that different than the rest of, than all of us. They are more alike than they are different, and they have gifts and talents to share, and, and I'm sure they, as I said, it's a valuable part of their life, and, it's a big part of the program to have the theater peers here with us. Well, you could see them and all that talent shine, all that fun, hard work shine. It's Thursday, April 16th, Friday, April 17th, Saturday, April 18th, Sunday, April 19th at Ridgewood High School. That is Hairspray.
the great people over at Ups for Downs, Edge. What was the name of the director again? Make sure he gets as much credit and love as we could give him.
Orion Cooling.
Orion, he is doing some awesome stuff. Sandy Pazerunas is joining us here on Outreach Radio Chicago. Sandy, can you join us for a little bit longer?
Oh, sure. Would love to.
We'll be right back on Outreach Radio Chicago. Hey, everybody. Mike Mercado here from Outreach Radio Chicago, and I just want to thank you all for all the support you have given us on the brand new show. If someone you know wants to get the word out on a fundraiser, charity, or foundation in your local community, please send us an email at outreachradiochicago@gmail.com or send me one personally at mmercado@newswebradio.net. Or you can tweet me at mmercado2333, and don't forget to like our Facebook page at Outreach Radio Chicago.
This is the sound of someone correctly installing a car seat. And this is the sound of someone incorrectly installing a car seat. Correctly, incorrectly. Hear the difference? No? That's because installing a car seat incorrectly is terribly easy. So much so, 75% of adults install them wrong. For simple instructions on how to get it right, visit buckleupforlife.org. Perfectly executed. Brought to you by Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center.
If you would like to suggest a topic or story you feel your community needs to hear, please email us at outreachradiochicago@gmail.com.
Don't forget to like Outreach Radio Chicago on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. You can follow me on Twitter at mmercado2333. And we are joined by Sandy Pazerunas from Ups for Down. And we were just talking about Hairspray, their great production that they're going to do for their theater program this year. But they're also doing something really cool with the Chicago Marathon. Can you give us a little information about that?
Oh, sure, yes. It's pretty exciting. It's our 10th year anniversary as being an endurance team with the Chicago Marathon. So we started the program 10 years ago, really in honor and memory of a young woman named Katie McDonald, and she was a young woman with Down syndrome who died suddenly. And
oh, man.
The thing about Katie is that she really, her and her mother helped to pave the way for community inclusion and for literacy for children and adults with Down syndrome. And we wanted to do something to memorialize or to honor Katie's life. And it came about through this marathon team. I think there was maybe just 6 or 8 runners when the team first formed 10 years ago. And it's grown every year. I've done the marathon 6 times.
Oh, nice.
Downs. I haven't committed yet whether I'm running this year or not. But the marathon is October 11th, 2015 this year, the Chicago Bank of Marathon, and we have charity slots. So if there's anybody who's looking to run for a charity slot, or you want to support Ups for Downs, this would be a great way for you to get involved. A lot of the fundraising that goes on through the marathon supports our theater program, supports our literacy programs, and so that's what happens with your money. Again, we are a 100% all-volunteer organization. We don't have a paid staffer running our marathon team. We don't have a paid, secretary collecting our team. We have passionate, committed parents who are out here, doing the work. So you can, rest assured that when you participate with an activity with Ups for Downs, again, 100% all volunteer. Some of your money isn't going to a paid staffer who's taking care of, a program for you. So we are really excited about the marathon coming. Another thing that happens with the marathon, because it's been, I think last year we might have raised $75,000 with all of our endurance teams together.
That's still good. That's really good.
We offer scholarships every year.
Yes.
So every year we offer 2 scholarships to individuals with Down syndrome. We $2,500 scholarships. We offer 2 scholarships to siblings who have a sibling with Down syndrome, and then we offer 2 more to youth studying in a disability-related field. So that's where your money goes. You're giving back to providing scholarship opportunities for youth with Down syndrome, for siblings, and for those studying in disability-related field.
I don't know what else could get a person off their couch and run. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what can. There's a Facebook for it, right? It's Ups for Downs Endurance Team, and a Twitter at Charity Athlete.
Yes.
And is there any other kind of information you could get for somebody who does want to volunteer? Are you looking for a specific amount of donations that we're looking for individual runners? What's our total goal that we're looking for?
So if you sign up to be a charity athlete, the minimum fundraising amount that you are expected to raise is $1,000 is what your commitment is meant to be. I think the team goal is going to be, again, somewhere around $50,000. Things are always changing with the charity program through Bank of America. So things have evolved a little bit different this year. So we are looking to get 50 runners to come out and be a part of our team.
Very cool. Yeah. So for anybody who wants to be a part of that, like I said, it's a great. Not only are you getting in shape, but you're doing it for the best reasons with some of the best people that I personally know. On top of, you could just talk to the community, look up anything online about them. That's Ups for Downs Endurance Team. You can follow them on Twitter at Charity Athlete. If you go for upsfordowns.org, you can actually see more information about that. And as we get closer and closer to this marathon and the deadline here on Outreach Radio Chicago, we're going to make sure that we help you guys get to that point and spread the information as much as we can possible.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Workout.
Now, I put a little bit of time aside. We had this conversation when we were booking up this interview. The way people interact and speak and the language they use. I'm sitting right here trying to figure out how do I present this type of question. How should and I'm just going to be as straightforward as I can be. How does somebody go to speaking and interacting with a person with Down syndrome? Because in the back of our minds, we all have been subconsciously, taught one way. But like you were saying earlier, we're expecting certain things. We're expecting a good performance. We're expecting hard work. We expect them to do this and that. Can you please explain to the listeners who aren't as educated in it how to interact?
Well, I think, the most important thing that you should remember is that people with Down syndrome are people first. And so they're more alike than different. Certainly, as I said earlier, because it's a chromosome condition, it affects the way people, look or learn or speaking. And so sometimes intelligibility, your ability to understand somebody with Down syndrome, might be limited, because it also affects their muscle tone. It requires, there's a lot of muscles and coordination when we speak, to use our tongue, our jaw. So there's a lot of things that go into it that really affects that speech pattern. And if you don't understand, so really talking to somebody with Down syndrome is just talking to me, or talking to your, brother, sister, whoever, friend. Same topics that anything that you want to bring up. I know people with Down syndrome who, play violin, they play piano, they downhill ski, they're boaters, they're powerlifters.
That's awesome.
My daughter is an amazing dancer. She can dance circles around me. So they have lots of gifts and talents.
Yeah.
So subject matter, any subject matter that you would bring up with anybody. But I think one of the things that we do like to share is that when we talk about people with Down syndrome, that we always want to use people first language. And so people first language is kind of what I said. People with Down syndrome, they're people first. You would never say that Downs person or they're Downs or I met a Downs person or anything like that. You always refer, I met this girl who has Down syndrome.
Exactly.
And it's just, the same dignity and respect that we give, to all people. We refer to people as people because the Down syndrome is only a part of who they are. It's not who they are. They have many other layers to them, like all of us do.
Right. And I think to sum it up in a phrase, it's people are people. They're just it's so perfect. And again, to me, it's almost crazy for people not to get that concept because again, I've known the Nolan so long, and it just seems so normal. But we live in a world that's so uninformed sometimes.
Right. I think, just like any other bias, prejudice, it comes out of fear and ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
People do not know, and they have they have these fears, and then they create their own story. And I think there's, probably some old information out there about Down syndrome as well. There's been a tremendous amount of advances in Down syndrome and in the, disability world, since we have learned that people with Down syndrome do much better when they're educated with their peers, when they're supported in their communities, when they live in their communities. Years ago, when my parents went to school, kids with Down syndrome weren't allowed in school.
That's crazy.
You're right. You weren't allowed. It wasn't until 1971 the Individuals for Disability Education Act gave rights to people with disabilities to go to school. I was in school in the 70s. Kids with Down syndrome were in my school, but they were like way in the back in some back rooms. They weren't educated. Now people with Down syndrome are, included as respected community members.
Like they should be from the beginning.
I love your line. People are people.
People are people. Yeah, people are people. It's just, to me, it's as simple as that. And honestly, organizations like Ups for Downs have educated people, have been an outlet for people. If you want to visit and learn more, have any questions, you need a place to ask questions. Your family needs an outlet. It's upsfordowns.org. If you want to be part of a fun experience, they have Hairspray at Ridgewood High School, Thursday, April 16th at 7 p.m., Friday, April 17th at 7 p.m., Saturday, April 18th at 6 p.m., Sunday, April 19th at 2 p.m. You can actually pre-order tickets online for $11. All show pass is $30, and at the door for general admission is $15. And of course, as we get closer to the Chicago Marathon, they're looking for runners. They're looking to get some money out there to make sure that this organization stays as great as they are. Sandy, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything else you want to say to the folks over here at Outreach Radio?
No, well, I just want to say thank you to you for creating this opportunity and providing the enthusiasm and the love for our organization. I'm a parent. I have been connected to Ups for Downs, United Parent Support for Down Syndrome, for almost 20 years, and I am just passionate, and it has been a full experience, and I'm just much gratitude for you for allowing us to get this, to get our word out there.
No,
I hope that people can come out to Hairspray. This will probably be the most powerful performance of Hairspray that you'll ever see.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
You'll have a lot of fun being there as well.
Oh, it's fun. It's a fun time. I'm endorsing it. I know you're a guest on my show, but I've actually been there, been with a couple of friends, been with the family. It's a lot of fun. You see the passion, and to say it's a culmination of what you guys represent. And to be honest, it's long overdue that you guys haven't been on a show like this, that you guys haven't been able to get your word out there. Anything that we could do over here at Outreach Radio Chicago, we'll be more than happy to do for you guys. And Sandy, we'll be in touch. We'll have you on again to make sure for the Chicago Marathon, whatever other cool things you guys have for Ups for Downs.
Thank you so much. I look forward to speaking with you again, Mike.
It's going to be
maybe you can make it out to Hairspray as well.
You know what? We'll be in touch, and actually, we'll definitely be in touch about the Chicago Marathon too as well.
Okay.
Very cool. Sandy Pazerunas, thank you so much for joining us. And that'll do it for us on this edition of Outreach Radio Chicago. Thank you to Sandy Pazerunas for joining us today on Outreach Radio Chicago from Ups for Downs, United Parent Support for Down Syndrome. If you would like to see the production of Hairspray, please visit their website at ufdhairspray.eventbrite.com. Pre-sale online tickets are $11. All show pass is $30. At the door, general admission is $15. The shows are 7 p.m. Thursday, April 16th, April 17th at 7 p.m. Friday, Saturday, April 18th at 6 p.m., Sunday, April 19th at 2 p.m. And if you're looking to run the Chicago Marathon and wanted to run it for a good cause, visit their website at upsfordowns.org and look for their Ups for Downs Run Chicago. They are looking for volunteers. They're looking for runners. Please visit them and be part of their Ups for Downs endurance team, and follow them on Twitter at Charity Athletes. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. You can follow me on Twitter at Mercado2333. If you want to get your foundation, your charity, any organization that you're part of that helps the community on the air, please send us an email at outreachradiochicago@gmail.com. I'm Mike Mercado. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time here on Outreach Radio Chicago.